Hi and welcome to the second of my videos on emotional intelligence, where I'm going to start breaking it down into its different components. The first of which is the most important one. Without this, you can't develop anything, you can't improve on anything. It really is that important. I mean, in training, I spend 2 days on this, and I'm just going to introduce you to the idea now. But in future videos, we'll be looking at how we can use it. And it's self-awareness. Okay, self-awareness really is where we have to start. We have to know what we're good at, what we're bad at, what we struggle with, what responses we have that could be better in order to develop anything. So this is me, and stuff will happen in my life that will create emotions. There will be triggers all day that will create different emotions in me. So the first thing is I've got to be really aware of what those triggers are and what those emotions are. Now, sometimes those emotions might be negative, and there will be behavior that is negative as a result of them. So, for example, if I have an argument with someone, I'm going to have a negative emotion, I'm going to become upset, and then I'm going to behave in a certain way. Now, the important thing is to understand that we are creatures of habit. So through our lives, we build up these responses. And the even more important thing to understand is that we can change those responses with work. Okay, and that's the thing some of us don't quite understand. We just think, oh, that happens, and I always get angry when that happens. So do you know what? You can change that. You can change it in 2 ways. The first, you avoid the situation that makes you upset. The second is you find different ways of changing your response. So a really good example of this, and quite a sort of light-hearted one, is that I get feedback sometimes from my videos. So I send a video to someone to give me some feedback to see how it can change. The same way as, you know, actors get feedback and notes off directors. And my friend will tell me how I can change certain things. Now, I'm classically really bad at getting feedback, all right? So years ago, this is my way, okay? Someone would give me feedback, I would argue with them, and I wouldn't change anything, okay? Now that's because I get this response that really upsets me, okay? And it goes back from being a kid. I was never really good at sort of doing anything wrong. Like when I failed my first driving test, I got really, really upset. The idea of failure, I didn't do failure. But being a grown-up, you have to learn to, and then being a business person, you have to understand that failure is part of the process. So he gives me the feedback. This is only a couple of weeks ago, and I still feel those old reactions, those old responses coming out, and I still get quite defensive. But what happens now is that I then say thank you, I go off, I process the information, I wait for the initial emotion to die down, and then I use the information to change the behavior to improve the video or whatever it is that I'm doing. Now that is the point of this. It's understanding those negative reactions and then choosing or not choosing to change them, because it's fine if you don't. You can just avoid the situation. I could, if I wanted to, just not ever ask anybody for feedback, but I know how important that is. So that's the first part of it. The other part of it is understanding that there are people in our lives that will be influenced by us. Okay, we all influence each other. It's a constant communication loop. And in our teams and in leadership positions, it's really important to know how you are influencing people, and more importantly, know how other people see you. And this isn't an easy thing, okay? If you think about it, do you really know? How sure are you with how other people are responding to you? Now, of course, you can usually tell if someone likes you and doesn't like you and all that kind of stuff, but you need a bit more detail than that in team situations and in leadership situations. And that's why things like 360 feedback is so important, because, you know, it might be uncomfortable, but if you are doing something or behaving in a way that isn't effective, you do need to know about it. So 2 parts to this. The first is understanding your emotions and working with them and improving them if you choose to. And the second is getting a really strong idea of how other people see that. And in the next few videos and in future videos, I'm going to be giving you some tools and hits and tips and hacks and all that kind of stuff to do these things, to actually put this stuff into action. So thanks very much. Do me a favor, if you like these videos, please do share them. Go on to www.getgoodatstuff.com. That's www.getgoodatstuff.com. Sign up for the email list there, and then you won't miss any of the videos or the blogs that go out. And if you give me a like or go on the YouTube channel, that'd be great too. Have a great day. Thanks very much.